I won't have to. However, he didn't mention that for every election since 1960, I have been involved in them, often as a candidate, and almost every political reform movement since that time. During the course of that, I've learned a few things, what works and what doesn't work. What does not work is asking officials for answers, for proof of their authority. That worked during the first 60 years of this country, but that remedy has been largely withdrawn from our reach. What also does not work is to demand reforms of others, expecting them to work out the details. I learned as a litigator that if I wanted to get the case to come out the way I wanted it to, even if I won officially, I had to draft a court order. If I didn't draft a court order, it's likely it would be by my opposition. I learned the law because I found I could not rely upon my lawyers to be competent. And I've had to learn many other fields that way. You have to provide the draft language of any remedy that you expect to have. And not only must it be drafted by you or us, but it must be done so carefully that it can withstand the scrutiny of our friends and the opposition of our enemies. We have to anticipate all the ways it could be misconstrued, perhaps for another century or two. And that's not easy to do. We also must beware of adopting simple, direct, obvious approaches to our problems. It has been said that every problem has a simple, direct, obvious solution, and it's wrong. The simple, direct, obvious solutions are already being used. What we have before us is a complex system. You push it at any point without knowing what you're doing, you're going to get 1,000 unintended consequences, some of which could be truly disastrous. You have to know what you're doing. And you cannot depend on a legion of professionals to help it. You have to acquire advanced professional skills yourselves. On my website, constitution.org, I have long had a huge amount of material in the nature of complaints and demands for reform, but until recently I was reluctant to actually post amendments to the Constitution. I was provoked into doing that by a friend, Randy Barnett, professor of law at Georgetown University, and of a like mind to ourselves, who posted a set of amendments on a website called federalismamendment.com. Well, it's an earnest first effort, but even for Randy, who is a truly expert constitutional scholar, he got a lot of things wrong. And he caught a lot of heat from it, from his colleagues and from me, frankly. But I decided it was time to round up all of the drafting that I have been doing and putting it on my website. And I sent it around by email to a lot of you, the ones that I have email addresses for. The point of this exercise is that in order for us to bring officials into compliance with the Constitution, we have to be able to spell out in no uncertain terms what compliance consists of. It's not enough to say this or that is unconstitutional. You have to be able to say what is constitutional and hold them to it with no compromise. And this is 5.
I